Alrighty, fanboys and fangirls, stop me if you've heard this story before.
Go over the final leaks and rumors for Apple's WWDC, which I believe will be the biggest Apple event of the past 10 years.
WWDC is going to be the most important Apple event since the introduction of the iPhone.
WWDC is just a few days away, and it has the potential to be one of the most exciting WWDC in years.
Apple is about to change the world and usher in a new era next week at WWDC.
If you're wondering, that is video footage from YouTubers last year about WWDC, and if it sounds very familiar, then it's probably the same stuff you've been hearing for the last few months, and I'm getting really tired of this bullshit. Let's debunk this crap. Now listen, I am going to give my full prediction on WWDC. That is not going to change. I am going to tell you guys exactly how I feel about WWDC, where I think the current status is of what we can expect at the event, all of the things that I can expect. But before I do that, I just need to take this moment. I don't normally do this. This is something I used to do when I was 18 or 19 years old. I used to call out YouTubers left, right, and center, even journalists and whatever. But I've been a lot more reserved these last few years because I'm trying to stay in good shape here. But with the current status of the way this tech world is going, I really don't like the way a lot of these YouTubers are talking. A lot of YouTubers have become so repetitive, especially with WWDC and any Apple event, and it's getting to the point where we have to ask the question, just how desperate are you to make $1 on this app? Like seriously, I am guilty of it too myself, especially with the clickbaits, but listen, all jokes aside, I really have to stress this message to all of you because this is a message I have been living by for the last how many years I've been making YouTube videos, and the message is always the same. Always set your expectations too low. If you do that, I promise all of you, you are not going to get disappointed. Now that I have said that, and you can go back to all my old videos, I have said that from day one. Now we got that out of the way, let's talk about WWDC 2024. Now, WWDC 2024 is scheduled to be the big revamp that everybody's talking about, like they always say. But this is more important than ever because we're seeing the tech landscape change right before our eyes. AI is becoming more evident, it's become more useful to the general consumer, college, but all jokes aside, it has also made a lot of improvements with the tech devices, starting with Samsung to Google to OnePlus, and now Apple is seeming to dip their hats into the ring. And it seems like they're going to use AI as a way to boost Siri. And that's one of the biggest things that everybody's talking about, because originally the rumors started with the whole redesign of iOS. We're going to get new shapes, this and that. Well, the story and the narrative has now changed to the software. So before we talk about AI, do I think we're going to see the redesign? Well, listen, it has been heavily rumored for years. It says that iOS 18 was going to be the biggest update, the most significant update to the iPhone. Listen, I don't want to flat out say they're going to redesign the OS, but I do think we are going to get more customization and more tweaking with the apps and more customization than we've had in the previous years. So I do think there is going to be a slight design tweak, but I still don't think it's going to be that major redesign. But again, could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong on this one because I would love to see a redesign of iOS. But the main importance is going to be AI, and that's going to be across the board with all the Apple products and Apple devices. The iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max are going to be the two devices that get the best support for AI because they have a secret chip enabled inside of the A17 Bionics, and then next year they're going to have a better chip for AI. It seems like the neural engine is going to be more sophisticated and more introverted for AI on the iPhone 15's lineup. However, though, there is still reports that, of course, iOS 18 is going to bring enhanced features and enhanced things that will help make the iPhone feel rejuvenated. Now, again, it doesn't fall into that category of redesign, but I'm hoping we are in that realm. Taking a look at iPadOS, again, AI is going to make its way across. Siri is going to be the biggest focus, but there are also reports that for iPadOS, there is going to be a slight separation now between the mini iPad and the regular iPads, and then the Pro and the Air. It seems like while, yes, iPad OS is still going to be standard across the board. It seems like Apple is going to be doubling back a lot on features and sophisticated things that only the iPad Air and the iPad Pros can do. And now that we have OLED on iPad Pros, it seems like Apple's going to take full advantage of that with some new software tricks and tools stuff that they're going to try to bring over to the iPad Pro. They're still in this end game of the whole laptop replacement. They're still trying to go with that run tag. And then listen, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but one thing is for certain, the iPad OS experience is still in process, and I've been saying it before and I'll say it again. They need to enhance the software for the iPad Pro and the iPad Air for it to really be a legitimate laptop replacement. If they can get it to feel like a macOS experience, then maybe, just maybe they have a shot. But until then, they need to keep working on the software. When it comes to watchOS, this is where we're going to get our biggest hints at the new design of the Apple Watch Series 10. Seems like there are going to be a few tweaks in design, some enhancements in features again, but it seems like they are going to give some subtle hints to the new Series 10 in celebration of the 10th anniversary of the Apple Watch, so it seems like we're going to have to be on the lookout for watchOS. When it comes, of course, to then macOS, macOS is usually one of those special areas where you don't really need to focus a lot on macOS. But one of the things that I would love to see Apple continue to work on is the evolution of their game support. I've been hooked on XDefiant, and I'm telling you guys, with an M series MacBook, that thing would run just as smooth. So I'm hoping that they continue to work with the developers kit for gaming, expanding gaming to the Macs, allow for Steam and other platforms to develop. It would be very nice if they could expand that. I know the Mac is not known for gaming, but the M3 chips, the M4 chips, and all the future M chips are proven to be big powerhouse performance. So it's possible they can do that. And I'll just say this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If Apple announces full support for gaming and they allow Steam to be native on Macs and be optimized for the M series chips, I'm telling you right now, I'm abandoning ship from Sony and I'm going all in on gaming on PC, in this case on Mac. But I just kind of hope that. But the last thing also to talk about are some of the other obscure softwares. I've saved one in particular at the end, which we'll get to in a moment. But when it comes to tvOS, again, it's your typical TV, home stuff that they're going to keep working on. Of course, HomePod OS. And then, of course, you got your headphones with their software features and others. But there is one device that I think is going to get a little bit of significant time expended on, and that is the Vision Pro and Vision OS. Now listen, the Apple Vision Pro has not been the big, huge hit that everybody thought it was going to be, which I kind of said that, but it did do well enough that Apple is going to continue to expand its support as they're releasing Vision OS. It seems like more native apps are coming out. There's more optimized apps for the Vision Pro, and it seems like they are borrowing some stuff from the Vision OS with iOS. As we have seen in the accessibility features, they are going to be doing eye tracking. It will allow for you to glance at your iPhone using your eyes to select things if you can't move in the chair. It also will allow for some ray tracing and other features and things like that, which is more for the gaming side on the Vision OS that's making its way over to the iPhone, which it's already done. But it does seem like Vision OS is still going to be working on the platform to build the foundation of what's going to happen when Apple finally rolls out the support for a device that everybody can pick up and just use. And I think that is the end game with Vision OS. So be on the lookout for Vision OS, because we'll see what they do and how that lines up with their release cycle and everything. So now that we talked about all that, what are my final thoughts on WWDC? Well, listen, I feel there is some excitement to be had here. I don't think it's on the level that all these YouTubers are going at, but there is a huge level of excitement because of AI. I don't really even care about the redesign of iOS. I don't even care about any of that stuff. I want to see how Apple's going to implement AI. We all know that, yes, Apple is always late to the party. We know this. We know they're behind. But this could be a significant boost to help make Apple devices feel more up to date by using artificial intelligence, by using AI and enhancing Siri and enhancing other areas. We could possibly see iOS and others finally catch up with the implementation of AI. But of course, it'll be done the Apple way, so we'll have to wait and see. And do I expect any hardware? Absolutely not. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't expect that at all, so don't. But anyway, guys, that is my predictions for WWDC, what I think we can realistically expect. Again, guys, like I said before, please set your expectations to low, because if you do that, you'll live a very happy life. I'm just here to tell you from one man to another, or whoever's watching this video, because again, it's Pride Month, don't want to get in trouble. Whoever's watching this video, set your expectations to low, because if you do, you won't be disappointed.